MG has been a massive hit in our country, especially in such a short span of time of roughly 3 years now. They were the first ones to introduce internet inside the car with MG Hector, and now it's time for AI inside the car. Yes, artificial intelligence inside the car with MG Aster. I am so keen on finding about everything about MG Aster, more so how it drives, because we're here at BIC, the best place to test a car's limit. The car looks futuristic, edgy and sporty. The face of the car has this celestial grille which enhances the visual appeal of the car almost instantaneously. It's got hawk-eyed LED DRL lamps with 9 crystals inside, which has a very meaningful purpose to solve. The lower end of the bumper here has this radar, and the camera right here, it's got 6 cameras and 5 radars. From the side of the car, it's got this really nice haunch on the C pillar, and these lines that run across the shoulder in a very symmetrical manner all across the car looks very sharp and edgy. The diamond cut alloys obviously enhance the appeal of the car. They look pretty neat. It's a 17-inch alloy. Okay, the car's also got dual color electronic ORVMs, which is pretty nice. It's got this Brit Dynamite badging here as well. You've got all chrome here on the handlebars, which looks pretty neat. You press the button and you get inside the car. Looks pretty neat and sharp. Alright, from the back, according to my taste, it's got too much badging here, but then why not? They've just established themselves in India, so they need a lot of recall value. So you kind of press the badge like this and then you open the boot. It looks decent. It's not that spacious, but I think it'll work. Okay, the tail lights here are consistent with the front lights, so they're in sync and they look pretty sharp. The car is pretty good looking, especially when you look at the Indian audience, because their first impression has to be looks, right? To be honest, I love the interiors of this car. The upholstery has been done so tastefully. The dual colors, sangria red and black, are really going well with the characteristics of the car. It's got all perforated steering wheel. There's so much, leatherette here on the dashboard, on the side panels. And the quality of the seats look very nice and premium. The seats are comfortable. They're perforated from the side as well. You can adjust the seats front and back, up and down. So it's got all levels of seat adjustments in it, which is very convenient. You've got an armrest here, although it's not as spacious as other mid-level SUVs, but I think it's decent and definitely feels premium. You can adjust the steering wheel according to your height. I like it as low as possible. There's decent boot space, not enough. I mean, it's not a very spacious car from inside, although it is the longest, tallest and widest car in the segment, but still there is not enough space inside the car, so that is a little confusing. The second of the car is comfortable as well. You've got a armrest here, and then you've got 2 cup holders right here, so this is comfortable. You've got 3 headrests, but I'm not sure if 3 people can sit here comfortably, but not more than that, otherwise it's going to be very stuffy. There are 2 USB points here as well, and you've got AC vents here, ISOFIX seat clamps here. You can fix your child seat here. Alright, let's begin with some corner braking. Not braking, but let's just... Okay, the car is smooth. The turning radius is fairly well. It's decent. No problem there. The pickup is a little slow. Turns around very smoothly. Let's check the brake. Alright, the braking system is pretty decent as well. And the turning radius. Oh, the turning is pretty sharp. It's very easy and smooth drive. I really feel like going very fast on the track right now, but we're not allowed to do that. But I think we can do 90. Obviously, the automatic speed assist wants me to slow down here, which is a good feature to have. Okay, so this car is available in two petrol options, no diesel at the moment. It's got 1.3 liter turbocharged, which produces max power of 140 PS at 5600 RPM and torque at 220 Nm at 3600 RPM. The gearbox is connected to a 6-speed automatic transmission, whereas the 1.5 liter has 110 PS at 6000 RPM and it produces 144 Nm of torque at 4400 RPM. The gearbox is 5-speed manual and CVT. The car also seems to be very well balanced. It's pretty stable. I don't feel uncomfortable while turning at sharp corners, even though it's an SUV. So it looks like it's stable and sticks to the ground pretty comfortably. Alright, so this car is loaded with latest next-gen technological features, especially AI, which means artificial intelligence. What it basically means is that this guy right here called Aster would listen to whatever I'm saying, and more so it's gonna turn towards me and it's gonna recognize my voice and the direction that it is coming from. So let me show you how it's done. Hi Aster, what is the temperature right now?
The weather on September from 26.1 to 33.3 degrees Celsius, partly sunny at daytime and mostly clear at night.
Alright, so the car has a 10.1-inch infotainment system, which is pretty huge and it's very clear. It's got radio, your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's connected with JioSIM, so you have Saavn. And one very important feature that this car has is that it is connected to Wikipedia and it gives you a lot of information or whatever you can ask from Wikipedia. So this has a 360-degree camera. You can obviously see the 360-degree surround view. You've got your music more. Then you go to your vehicle setting now, electronic power steering. It has 3 modes: dynamic, normal and urban. In urban, the steering wheel becomes extremely light, which is very good for your city ride. Then you've got normal. I can actually feel the steering getting a little heavier, and then the dynamic, when you get a very sturdy steering wheel, which is pretty decent. There is so many options to choose from. Then there is lane assist system. Then again there is sensitivity levels: high, medium, low, vibrations, so when you're changing your lane and when you go over 60 kilometers per hour, that is when it actually detects, and then it brings you back to your lane and gives you a warning. There is a notification on my electronic RVM outside. So now there is driving assistance, speed assist system. There is speed warning, manual and intelligent. In manual, you can obviously set your own speed limit. Speed warnings will come and it's going to detect the speed outside on the highway. And then you've got lane assist, rear drive assist. Okay, alright, so what does the rear parking assist does is I've put it in reverse parking gear, and even if I can see and if I cannot see the vehicle passing by, I'm gonna get a notification on my electronic ORVM outside detecting the blind spots here for the driver. In lane change assist, when I give the indicator and I'm above 30 kilometers per hour and I want to change my lane, but there is an ongoing traffic, so it is going to alert me. Again, I'm going to see signals here that is going to tell me that there is a vehicle overtaking you, so it's not safe for me to change my lane. We need safety features like this. The car looks stunning, has premium looking interiors, it's loaded with next gen tech and safety features, drives fairly well apart from the initial pickup. I haven't been able to drive it above 100 and 120 km per hour, but I think it should suffice. It looks like a promising buy.